So, people are not happy with Dune Awakening right now. Recently, Funcom and the Dune Awakening team went ahead and released a video showing some of the new information around their game Dune Awakening, which is supposed to be a survival MMORPG based on Arrakis in the Dune Universe. However, this Dune Universe is a divergent timeline. It is a what if, so to speak.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
And based off of the video, now we don't know enough quite yet, but based off of the video, it seems as if we are completely foregoing the Fremen completely. They've been exterminated from the planet, which is a whole point of itself. But it is exploring a timeline where essentially Duke Leto Atreides never died. He was never betrayed by Dr. Yue, or Dr. Yue was sniffed out before this happened. And Paul didn't essentially ascend to the Messiah. Now, the problem being with this, and why a lot of people are upset, is because it is changing too many of the main features around the Dune universe. What made Frank Herbert's universe just so damn good. And the idea of it, and I'm going to kind of talk about the pros and cons here, but the idea of it is that people are upset because it's too far away from the main story. Now, first, let's go ahead and look at this objectively. So anytime that there is a new medium, something transferring from one medium to the next, so from i.e. book to a movie, or movie to a TV, or TV to a game, or any combination thereof, there's going to be changes made to and from. That is to be expected. But in this particular case, it seems like there is too much of a change that is happening, and that's why a lot of the people are upset. Personally speaking, I think that it's kind of a necessity in this regard. If we were looking at an MMORPG or a survival MMORPG, and we are trying to create this universe, then essentially we have to be the main characters, or we'll say the primary player in this particular story. Now, it would be one thing if it was like an RPG where we were Paul Atreides and we had to go through the individual trials, but that doesn't necessarily make it an MMORPG where we have large groups, guilds, and houses all competing over the resources all throughout Arrakis. It takes a unique position on it, and I don't know necessarily if it's bad. I know some people have been throwing a fit and are not necessarily enjoying it the way that they want to, but I actually draw attention that it could be a good thing. We don't know yet. We haven't seen enough gameplay. We're only basing this negative opinion thus far off of a video that was only a couple minutes long. I think that's too stark of a, we'll say, reaction for us to be like selling this game off and good to go. On the flip side of it, it could still be very much like an MMORPG and still have the story elements along the way. I actually draw attention to Lord of the Rings Online, where you could play as one of the main races of characters and your character story is integrally tied to the rest of what's happening around. Like, that's cool. That's something unique that you could do, and you're a part of that, but it doesn't change the whole of the story. I'm not gonna lie, they kind of lost me when they said Fremen were extinct, which to me, that's like, you can't have Arrakis without Fremen, or like there has to be like small pockets of, we'll say, like survivors or something, or, you know, like you can't have that. I mean, that's like going to Buffalo Wild Wings and not having wings. And it's like, oh, we only serve salads. To me, that doesn't make sense. However, I am still remaining cautiously excited about this game. And to be sure, a lot of the content and what they could potentially come up with could be something of merit. It could be something of worth. Now, my only concern and my only problem is that, one, we really haven't seen too much of a gameplay for the game. We've only seen these little tidbits here and there. They had their closed betas, but they've been very mum's the word on this. So we don't really know enough, I should say, to be super duper excited about it. And then on top of that, we still don't have a release date. Now, here in a couple of weeks, they're going to go ahead and do the Gamescom where they actually talk about the game, hopefully showcase some of the gameplay, and go from there. I'm excited for that. I am all here for that. However, what we're seeing right now and why players are upset, I can kind of understand. But personally, I think that it's too much of a knee-jerk reaction. Now, if they offer like pre-orders for the game, I'm not pre-ordering. I think that's just as a stand for most games. I'm not going to pre-order. If I do purchase it, it's going to be after I've seen the initial wave of reviews and then make a decision from there. I've been burned way too many times to do that. However, I am excited for what the game potential could be, and I think you should be too. All in all, there's a lot to be excited about. I would just be cautiously excited, cautiously optimistic about Dune Awakening and what it could potentially be. As always, stay caffeinated, folks.